Losing weight can be hard. It can be frustrating, it can be challenging, especially if you're over 30 years old. But if you're making more than one of these mistakes, then your journey might end before it even starts. So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 of the most common mistakes that I've found with people that want to lose weight and they don't even realize it. These 3 mistakes could be halting your progress, and we're going to talk about how to defeat them. My name is Coach Chris, and welcome to my channel. On this channel, we give you real life information and how to implement it into your everyday so that you can be successful on this health and fitness journey in whichever direction you're trying to go, whether it be weight loss or building muscle or just maintaining, getting ready for a competition on stage or whatever it is. I've been coaching hundreds of clients, and I have learned and realized some of the most common things that people struggle with, and I want to share them with you. So if you are tired of being frustrated with weight loss, then continue listening to this video and let me know what you enjoyed out of it. And by the way, hit that subscribe button. I recently decided to plan a road trip starting from here in Florida. I had a new truck and I was excited. I had some free time and I figured, why not? I'm fresh out of the military. This is the fewest responsibilities I have. Why not go and drive around this country and enjoy some of the great sights? Of course, I'm super excited about this. And I start telling a couple of friends of mine, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm getting ready to plan this trip. And the first question everybody asked me was, where are you going? At this point, I had only figured out I wanted to go west. And then I realized from Florida, there's a lot of things that's out to the west. The west could just be the western part of Florida, or it could be as far west as California. So where was I gonna go? And that's why the first common mistake that I'm gonna give to you, why you might be struggling, is where are you going exactly? It's one thing to say you're gonna go west, but once you get specific and say, I want to go to this exact address, well, then you can actually plot an accurate course. The same thing is true with your weight loss. Once you know where you're starting from, but more so where exactly you want to go, that's going to help you plot an exact course. So what does your weight loss goal look like? It could mean just losing a few pounds. Maybe 5 pounds is all you want. 25 pounds for some is what they're looking for, or maybe you want to lose 50 to 100 pounds. Maybe it's to fit back into a pair of pants that you had or jeans. Maybe it's a certain look that you're trying to get. All of those things are going to matter when it's time to talk about where are you ultimately going. Now, back to my story, I finally figured out where I wanted to go, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a trip around Texas. It's a massive state. I decided to narrow it down to going to a couple of key cities. And I figured I'd do a big circle around Texas and then make my way back home. Unfortunately, I didn't realize I still had a lot more information I needed in order to have a successful trip. And if you continue watching to the end, I'll even let you know about a bonus tip that I didn't figure out until it was too late. And I hope that it won't impact your journey as well. So as I continued this planning process throughout Texas, I started deciding on how long I want to stay in certain places. People were giving me a lot of suggestions, telling me, you got to go to Austin and get this kind of barbecue and this and this and that, but you got to stay at nighttime, but on the weekend is great. So I'm just sitting there writing down a lot of stuff that people are telling me and trying to figure out my trip and my itinerary. And then I realized, well, how long am I actually going to be gone? Because that's going to make a lot of impact on what I'm going to do. And that's why mistake number 2 is not defining how long this process is going to go. How long do you have to get to this goal? Why is that important though? How long you have to lose this weight is going to dictate how strict you need to be and how lenient you can be. Maybe you can stop for pit stops, i.e. cheat meals, or maybe you don't have to completely cut out your favorite foods. Those things will impact how much success you have in your weight loss journey. Nothing is worse than having to do something and feeling like you are not doing it at your own pace. When you feel, maybe you feel too rushed, or maybe it's taking too long. How much time you want to take for this trip is very important to helping you identify how hard you're gonna go. Now, once you figured out how long you want this process to last, well, you've got one more thing to figure out. And as promised, I will even give you a bonus tip at the end to kind of help you and make sure you get to your destination as quickly as possible. I continued planning for my trip, going through multiple different cities. And I even figured I'd stop in a couple of places between Florida and Texas. And I realized my list of places turned into places everybody else told me to go to. I started feeling like I was just taking other people's trip and just combining them, and I was just doing them. I started forgetting, why did I even want to do the trip in the first place? Planning for the trip continued to get more boring, and I lost interest in it quickly, and it just kind of fell to the back of my head. And that's why this is probably the most important mistake that most people get wrong, is you just forget why you're doing it. Why are you wanting to lose weight? Maybe you're trying to lose weight to get ready for that wedding day. That is an important day. A lot of people look forward to that. That has so much emotion attached to it that's going to keep you going for longer and longer. Maybe this is a health journey for you, and the doctor said, hey, you need to lose weight, and you have to continue to remind yourself, this is why you are doing this. If you're doing this for other people's why, the trip's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. You're going to lose interest in it. You're going to die off. It's going to be hard to stick to it. You have to continually remind yourself why you are doing it. And even when you get to one goal, reestablish another goal. Continue to try to improve yourself. Now, my problem with all of this is I actually never went back to establish my why in time. By the time I remembered why I was taking the trip, well, that window of opportunity had closed for me, and I actually never got to take the trip. Now, of course, I can plan for it at a later date, but I have to wait. And maybe you could find yourself in a similar situation where you're trying to make the plans and you're trying to do everything to get healthy, to lose weight or get stronger, whatever your goal is. And by the time you figure everything out and get motivated again, well, life gets busy again. The kids start back to school, or maybe they're out of school. So remember that your first step is always going to be identify where you're going. And if you're looking for the next place to go to, well, I suggest going to this next video where we talk about carbs in your weight loss